Alright, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory, as well as worship to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, the leaders of Israel, and peace and blessings to the elect, the 144K. Alright, going out to the highways and byways, making the call election sure, and a few men, women, and children that's listening in truth and subjection. Alright, I'm going to get into this topic. I read on the HardySoul.com. Alright, that it says, I'm just reading. It says, study salmon caught in Seattle are full of cocaine, antidepressants, and other drugs. This is May 16th, 2019. Alright, and it says this is the year of Karagma, also 2019, as declared by Elder Apostle Tahar. Okay. But it says at this point in modern society, when our food is regularly pumped full of antibiotics and hormones, it's no surprise to find fish with drugs inside of them. However, the type of drugs that were found in wild salmon caught near Seattle may be enough to surprise you. According to 2016 paper, published in the International Journal of Environmental Pollution, salmon caught in the U.S. near Seattle contain traces of over 81 different types of drugs, including many illegal narcotics, simulants, and other classes of drugs. Alright, so that's probably mostly like cocaine. That's really only cocaine and probably other narcotics. Alright, I can't really think of off the top of my head, but and stimulants that goes into like cigarettes, maybe like cigarette buzz and nicotine, things in that nature, and other classes of drugs. I'm gonna continue reading. It says some of the more significant drugs found in the tissues of salmon included cocaine, antidepressants, oxycodone, nicotine, which comes from cigarettes, as well as caffeine, Tylenol, and Valium. It says researchers believe that this accumulation of drugs in the salmon is a result of personal waste being thrown into the water. It says, and you can look at that picture too, but it says at the top, it says, this is not the first time that salmon was found to contain traces of unpleasant and possibly harmful substances. In 2014, it was discovered that Atlantic salmon farmed in Scotland had the highest level of cancer-causing chemicals in the world. Just take a look at that picture, man. That picture, that looks gross, man. But this is what happens as a result in living in Esau's kingdom, man. All right, you get the worst of the worst. All right, you get polluted foods. All right, polluted minds. All right, but let me continue reading. It's only a little bit left. It says salmon products were also recalled from supermarkets in 2008 due to concerns that they were contaminated with diesel. All right, that's probably because of oil spills, and they had a recall for beef. All right, I'm gonna keep reading. It says experts believe that this diesel contamination was caused by vehicle transporting the salmon to a processing plant. Despite this not being the first time that wild caught salmon were found with drugs in them. According to lead study author Jim Madure, researchers were surprised to find such a high amount of them. The concentrations, influent and outflowing of water were higher than expected. We analyzed samples for 150 compounds, and we had 61% of them detected in effluent. So we know these are going into estuaries, Meteor said. Alright. Although Meteor doesn't believe that fish contaminated with these drugs pose a threat to human health, he still believes that there should be some concern in response to this information. Yes, Salakia says, you have to wonder what is it doing to fish, he says. But the fact that they even says that this might not affect, they believe that fish contaminated with these drugs doesn't pose a threat, to human health. Just because that they think that it doesn't pose a threat to human health. All right, they're going to feed it to us. All right, that's why they do these tests. To see what human bodies can endure or not. Because they still want to make their money, even though fish are being polluted, with these chemicals or with these drugs. They're still going to sell it to the masses, because they know what the human body can endure, But with that, I'm gonna get into a few scriptures, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. All right. First, I'm gonna get Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. It says, "And Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them." So hey, we're eating defiled bread, man, defiled food among the Gentiles. And who are the Gentiles? The Gentiles are these heathen nations, all right? So we're eating defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, all right? Like, for example, you got the Moabites, they're selling us cats and dogs and rats, all right? It's broadcast, and birds, they're selling us all this, and it's broadcasted among the media, all right? They're selling us defiled bread. You got other lost nations out here, whether it be Edomites, so-called white people, or other Moabites or Jakes, eating this Chinese food, man, but it's really dog, cat, or bird meat, rat meat, So we're eating bread amongst the Gentiles, defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, defiled food, man. It's not clean, Even if you get organic, it's the best of the worst. Alright? But Proverbs 29:2, it says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn." Alright? We're in a state of mourn right now because the wicked are ruling. Once Israelites come back in power, the people are going to be rejoicing, man. Alright? It's going to be a rejoice period once the Israelites are back in power. All right. But I wanted to get Hosea chapter 4 and verse 3. It says, "Therefore shall the lamb." I'm gonna start at verse 1. Hosea 4:1. It says, "Hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, ye children of Israel. For Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land." All right, there's no knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushua in this land, man. All right, you know, there's no we got it's a so-called Christian society, you know, but what's going on in the land? Everything contrary to the scriptures, everything contrary to what Yahweh Shem Yahushua spoke. All right, you know, everything is contrary to the Bible, man. All right, this nation, this so-called America, all right, and these elites, they don't believe in the scriptures, man. You know, Donald Trump, he calls himself a Christian. All right, on Easter, talk about celebrating the birth of so-called Christ. You know, that's celebrating, you know, Christ. You know, that goes back to a so-called white man, the Edomite. You know, Caesar Borgia. There's no knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushua in his land. You know. Verse 2 says, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood touches blood. Verse 3, this is the point. It says, therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish, with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven. Yeah, the fishes and the sea also shall be taken away, man. All right, so the land is mourning, and all the inhabitants therein. The animals are mourning, man. You know, they waited for the Israelites to get back in power. All right, languish. All right, the fishes are there in mourning. Their languish right now. You know, they can't even swim in peace. Right? They swim with all this contamination, cigarette butts. All right, cocaine in the water. You know, that goes back to Esau, transporting his drugs, all right, over to the masses, over to America, or wherever it's going. You know, that's Esau, man. Esau, he's the real, you know, drug dealer. All right, he's the kingpin of this drug deal. All right. The fishes of the sea shall be taken away, man. You know, these fishes are mourning, man. All the animals are mourning. The cows, you name it. All right, because Esau, man, you so-called white man, he's defiling the earth. All right, you know, and it's plain as day, man. You got MSG in the foods. You got they putting a recall on beef. A recall on salmon, you know, during Thanksgiving, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was a case of salmonella going on. All right, you know, all this folly, man. The world is full of folly, man. And if you can't see it, you know, the Lord, he's put that, he's blinded you, man. He's put that spirit of slumber. He put that slumbering spirit on you. You know, you're sleeping. You know, you lost in the sauce. All right. I think Lord willing, I'm gonna just close out with this. I don't have any more precepts, unless something else comes up after this. All right, but this is Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. It says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead." That they should be judged, and the time of the dead, and they should be judged, and thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets. Salaki, let me read that again. It says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged." Right. You know, there's going to be a time where everybody's going to be judged, man. All right, and that thou shouldest give reward unto the servants, the prophets. You know, Lord willing, we are those men. We're going to get our reward at this time, man. You know, at the time when Yahushua makes his second coming, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, it says, "And to the saints and them that fear thy name." All right, that's another cut to You people that don't believe that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is the true name of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, man. All right, and they that fear Thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. All right, who's destroying the earth, man? The wicked. All right, you Edomites, man. You're destroying the earth. You're defiling the land. All right, you're defiling the people. All right, you're defiling the inhabitants of the land, and you're defiling the land itself. All right, you got cocaine and the fishes, man. You know, the people, Edomites got to be destroyed, man. And if you don't believe so,